You know, at the end of a hard, long day on a construction site, there's nothing I like more than a nice hot bath. That soap smells good. But first, I need to show you a few things on how to maintain your water heater. I want you to do these at least once a year. I'm going to show you how to shut the power off, shut the gas off, clean the filter, flush the lines, and set the temperature. Come with me and I'll show you how it's done. All right, the first thing you need to do is shut off your power at your control. And then we're going to go outside and shut it off at the disconnect. All right, now that you shut the power off at your remote control, you need to shut off the power at your disconnect. Make sure you shut your gas valve off. Now that the power is off at the remote and the power is off at the disconnect and the gas is turned off, you need to open up the hot water valves, all of them, in every bathroom and the kitchen. You got to make sure that hot water runs until it's cold or you risk getting scalded when you open up the relief valves on the hot water side. All right, now that you've turned on all the hot water valves and flushed all the hot water, make sure you run it till it's cold or you risk getting scalded from the hot water coming out of the relief valve. Shut off your cold valve, shut off your hot valve. That way there's no more water pressure coming to the unit. All right, you want to open up your hot relief valve, open that valve. That's going to let any residual pressure out. You want to do the same thing to the cold side. Unscrew that, turn that valve, let the water empty out of there. Now here is the filter. You need to check this once a month. You need to unscrew it. It's going to take a second to unscrew this. It's in there good. Make sure it's seated well. If you have to, use a pair of pliers or channel locks to unscrew it. Be careful, it's plastic, never use force, and never over tighten it when you put it back in. Oh, it's going to work its way out. There's a little retaining strap. You can pop it out of there and look for any sediment or debris that's caught up in there. If you need to, take an old toothbrush and clean it off underneath the running water. Scrape anything free. Old toothbrush works great. If your woman's been giving you a hard time about the honeydews, use hers. It'll be our little secret. All right, that's clean. Put it back into the restraining strap, or if you want, screw it in directly. That's probably easier. The strap can get in the way sometimes. Make sure it's seated fully. Just use hand pressure. That should be enough. Put the strap back around the handle. That keeps you from losing it. All right. You can close your valves now, but actually at this point, you probably want to flush these lines, make sure there's nothing in here. Before you open your main valves, you see you still have your service valves open. Put those back in the closed position. Don't put the caps on because we're going to flush them. Then open up your hot, open up your cold. You hear that water running in there? We're going to open up each of these service valves and flush any sediment that's in there and clear the lines before we close that back up. All right, the pressure's back on the line. We're going to open up the hot water side. Make sure no one's standing over here. This is only cold water now. Remember, we have the power off and the gas off, so no burner will fire. Open up that valve. Let it flush out for several seconds. It'll clear out any sand or sediment that's in there. Close that valve. Put your cap back on. Do the same thing to the cold side. Open up that valve. Again, make sure no one's in the way or anything that you want to get wet. Let it run for a few seconds. Close it off. Put your valve back on, your cap back on your valve. Make sure that your filter is tight. All right, now you can open your gas back up. Turn your disconnect back on. You're going to go back inside and we're going to show you how to set the temperature. Now that you have everything turned on back outside, come back to your control panel, turn your power on, and you can set your temperature with your up or down arrow keys. I like it hot, so we're going to leave it at 120 degrees. And I have one more thing to show you outside now that we have this turned on inside. All right, now that we have everything turned back on outside, we turn back our control on inside. I want to show you how to use this pressure relief valve. Test this every once in a while to make sure it works. This is a safety feature in case it doesn't build up too much pressure inside the unit. Pull this, you're going to hear the machine kick on. You're going to feel that hot air come out. You might smell a little bit of gas, that's normal. This water should be hot. If you ever have a problem inside, you don't feel like you're getting hot water to one of your valves, come out here and try this, make sure it's working first. Also, if you only put the hot water side on a little bit, you may not get this to turn on. Open the faucet fully and it should turn on for you. And of course, if you ever smell a lot of gas, excess smell, you will smell a little bit when it turns on and off. If you think there's a problem, shut the gas off and contact a qualified technician to take care of it. And now it's time for that bath. Now I can relax. See, you take a few moments once a month to do a little maintenance on your hot water heater. You have years of dependable service and hot baths. Remember, always moisturize. That smells nice. Yeah, I like that. All right, get out. It's starting to get creepy. You've shut off the, your eyes going, now that you've flushed, I can't do it. Stop for a second, man. All right, the first thing you need to do, you know, it's nice to take a nice hot bath at the end of a long day on a construction site. The water's off on a stinking thing, man.